This week I got a chance to talk to a rising guitarist by the name of Alena Ciera, and can also share Blanchard's guide to adulthood, or adulting in hard times. Welcome to a Positive Variety podcast from Reverend Kenn Blanchard. I've been podcasting since 2007, and I've lived, loved, and done some amazing things. Met some and still meeting great people. I plan to share my wisdom, encouragement, and more with you here. Thank you for listening, downloading, and subscribing. This week I want to start off with an interview with a guitarist by the name of Alena. And it's not the smoothest transitions in the interview, but the lady is great. And I want you to follow her and learn about her on your own. All right? Let's jump into it. Alena, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I'm going to tell you how I snagged you. I was talking and looking for musicians in the Washington, D.C. metro area, and you popped up. And then I went to your page and found out that you were a guitarist. And I thought, wow, a unicorn, a sister that plays guitar. And she's not like 89 years old either. She's like young. I was like, wow. So this was started my path to find you. And then you weren't easy to snag. So I'm glad that you're here on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's good to know that, everybody basically support each other, in a way. Yeah.
So tell me about that journey. You went to Bowie State.
Yes. So when I graduated from high school in 2014, I attended Bowie State University, and I think I probably did like 2 or 3 semesters there. And then I took a break from school because I was like kind of unsure what I wanted to go to school for. And so I took a break. I was like more involved in the music scene, and I was, started to have a lot of great opportunities that I really couldn't pass down. And so from that there, now I am going back to school and getting my associate's degree in criminal justice and my major in songwriting and performance.
I got that. So talk about the music part. What's your influences? What do you play? I kind of told that you play guitar, but I want to go past that point.
Well, guitar is my main instrument. I can play keys a little bit, to get me by, not for a gig though. I can also play bass and I also sing as well. I believe, but I believe I can say that my influencers would be Tori Kelly, and I would have to say Shawn Mendes.
Okay.
Tori Kelly and Shawn Mendes. What
do you play? You got a Strat, right?
Yeah. So I have 3. I have a 2003 American Strat, and then I also have a Japanese Strat, and I just recently got a Schecter Nick Johnson Strat.
Okay.
Which is like really amazing.
How did you get into guitar? What did it for you?
Well, I started playing guitar when I was 6. I watched a lot of Disney Channel growing up, and I saw this group named Ali and AJ, and I saw them playing guitar, and I believe that honestly really got me into, playing and, really wanted to be a performer. And so my mother got me a guitar for Christmas when I was 6, and I just stuck to it.
Nice. And now you're up for an award. Jump all the way to the future.
Right. Now I'm up for an award.
Let's talk about that song that you're up for an award for.
Oh, Invincible?
Uh-huh.
So I wrote Invincible last year due to my father and my cousin had COVID-19. And so during a time period, I was trying to not also just kind of write on an encouragement and, for a perspective of him. Mm-hmm. But I was trying to encourage others that were fighting COVID-19 and just basically, any disease or just anything anybody was going through in 2020 to, keep pushing forward and, to remember that, you're in control of your life and, you're not alone,
Nice. It's right on time for this time period. Everybody's going through stuff. So how about we check out some Invincible from Alena Ciera.
show the world that we won't stop fighting. People are dying and others are trying to recover every day. For those who are in pain and may feel they are alone, let me tell you, you're not alone. You're in control. There is nothing you can't handle. God has his hands on you. No matter what you look like or what race you are, things have changed. We have to be there for one another. Remember that you are invincible.
Right.
You gig with a band as well?
Yes. So I have my own band, which is called One Identity, and it's like a pop rock band. So I gig with them. We gig very, very often, and then I also play for an all-female band named Belladonna, and we also gig very often as well.
Man, that's all right. You living the dream.
Trying.
So what's your band's name again?
One Identity. It's literally like the number one and the word identity all together.
Okay. That's all right. You play rhythm or lead, or what's your part in the gig mostly when you're not headlining?
For One Identity or Belladonna?
Belladonna.
Both. I play rhythm and lead.
Are you self-taught?
Yes, I am.
Wow. Read music too?
When I was in high school, it's been a while since I was able to sight read anything, but I'm pretty sure I can pick it back up,
That's all right, lady. What would you say to other women who maybe they haven't, they've been afraid to try it, to play instrument, but now COVID and being at home and maybe even being older and making them think maybe it's not too late for me. You got any words of encouragement for ladies out there that might want to pick up an instrument?
Of course. I would say, just go ahead and go for it. You'll never know what path it can lead you on. And, in the music scene, you're never too old to work in the music industry. You have a lot of, older people that are still always gigging and, playing in tours and playing on cruises and everything. So, I would say there's literally no age limit on where to start, but I would just tell them to, go for it and to strive to be the best and always keep, make good friends within the music industry that you can keep around that will continue to push you further.
It's all about relationships, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Make connections with others.
Did you always know that, or you were just kind of nice from the beginning, so it worked out? Growing up, I my first band I was ever in was in a gospel go-go band, and the band held on for a while, and then we all broke off because they all got older, and then everybody went in different directions and everything. So, but I was something that I learned with them was making connections with other bands and other people within the music industry, and yeah. Did you say a church go-go group?
Yeah, it was a gospel go-go band.
Wow, which church was this?
So it was under St. Thomas Moral Catholic Church, which is in Washington D.C.
Okay.
But the gospel go-go band name was True Potential, and we still have stuff on YouTube and Apple Music. Yeah, an album on Apple Music and everything. So
you're not old, but you got a lot of stuff under your belt.
Yeah, I do.
That's all right, right there.
Very well rounded.
That's kind of cool though. That means you can just crush it. Just keep on going up.
That's the goal and the plan to do so.
What's the biggest challenge for a gigging musician these days?
Well, honestly, before COVID, I say my biggest challenge was getting rest and keeping up with my practices, because I was gigging so often. That
means you're good.
No, I'm trying to get there. I'm okay. But it's I was literally gigging so often where, I never really had kind of downtime to really, learn newer things and, kind of that's what I'm looking for. Basically enhance my craft. And now since, COVID has happened, that's all I have been doing was be able to write more songs and, perfect myself on playing guitar and singing and performing. And even now, I had started trying to get back into doing some acting classes, because I used to do improv and stuff in high school.
Nice.
And, but I can say that was also a passion of mine that I really wanted to pursue. And now, I have the connections to be able to do that, and, hopefully to maybe also soon be on a Netflix TV show.
Oh, go ahead, lady.
Mm-hmm.
Have you toured outside the country?
I have not yet. No. I kind of yes, no. beginning of last year, I played on the Capitol Jazz Cruise.
Go ahead.
So,
you big time.
I guess it's considered out of the country because we're technically on the water in between areas.
Yeah, international waters.
Yeah. So, but that's all I have done so far. I mean, I've had almost close enough opportunities to play outside the country. Like, I also had opportunity the year before. Someone called and actually messaged me on Instagram. And not Instagram, I'm sorry, Facebook. They wanted a guitar player for like a pop and R&B band to play in Dubai. And, I was going to be gone for like a couple of months. And I was like, I'm down to do it. But for some reason, I don't know what it is. Every time I get a call like that for somebody to do it, I'll start preparing myself as, to get ready, to leave and everything in that sort. And then it never happens. And so I'm just like, well, maybe God is saying, like, hey, prepare yourself because one day,
True.
You're going to have to go and I'm going to need you to be prepared. So
True.
Now I just started to make sure that I'm well prepared to do what I got to do. And once I get that call, I'll be on my way.
That's cool right there. Yeah. The UAE, that part of the world, they will send you a ticket. So what you got going on soon? What's like the next big thing for Alena?
Right now, for me, it's just getting my band together and putting out our album. And also like getting a couple of some like virtual shows and videos and done for One Identity. And I mean that's it right now. It's kind of hard to say, what else is gonna go on because because of COVID and the pandemic and as of right now, I think that's about that.
Okay, that's all right. How can folks find you? How can folks appreciate you? All that good stuff. What are your links?
So you can find me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and every other social media platform at Alena, Alena Ciera, Ciera, and it's all together. Yeah, it's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Apple Music and Spotify.
All right. Nice. Well, I can't wait to see you on the big stage somewhere. And if there's anything I can do for you, feel free to hit me back.
All right. Thank you so much for having me, Ken. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm just glad. I'm glad you said yeah, because, when you're famous, then I can buy a ticket and I can just be shouting in the front. So who's that old dude up there? Oh, that's that guy. He's a podcast.
No, I'm pretty make sure you'll get a VIP ticket so you can get backstage.
Oh, it's all good. Well, thank you. Thank you, Miss Alena. Again, stay in touch, lady.
I will. Thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, you're welcome. This thing will be out probably this weekend. I'll send you a link when it comes out.
Okay.
All right. You take care.
All right. You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Told you it wasn't the smoothest transitions popping, but I did like the interview. And I love Alena. She's good people. We had a great conversation about video games afterwards, but I didn't want to share that because that was kind of a little corny. And now something to bless your soul. This is Blanchard's Guide to Adulting. Chapter 1. You see, I lived through hard times before. People talk about these are hard times. Shoot, hard times was way back. They didn't even have a year for it. They just called it hard times. Folks would make up names for you. Nobody knew your real name. They didn't really care because you might not make it back. Today, folks are going through some hard times too. I've been posting, seeing, and hearing about a death almost every day. Folks are out of work. Folks are believing everything they see and hear online and losing their damn minds. Today, I want to give you some tips to help you adult a little better. Some truths, some facts, because I want you to make it. I want to learn your name. I believe we put too much pressure on ourselves. My dad used to say that pressure can break an iron pipe. I need you to remember that. Now, adulting in the Urban Dictionary is defined as to do grown-up things and hold responsibilities like a 9 to 5, pay your mortgage or your rent, your car payment, or anything else that makes one think of grown-ups. I'm here to tell you, your worth is not measured by your productivity. Did you follow me? Your worth is not measured by your productivity. Instead of looking for somebody else to validate you, choose how to celebrate yourself. Affirm every day that you're worth it. Don't overwhelm yourself with unnecessary work. Don't think that you got to be what folks are on social media, because most of that's a lie. You know, comparison is the thief of joy. That came from Theodore Roosevelt back in the day. See, the truth is, being an adult can be really lonely sometimes. Doesn't matter if you're partnered, single, loneliness can find you behind. And it can feel hard, like hard times. It's a constant tension as we try to be all right. So whether you're in conflict with somebody or isolating yourself, loneliness is real. But take heart if you feel lonely. It's one of those things that we all must face as humans. It's not forever. It's only temporary. Now, I know even I get this one sometimes. I forget myself. You won't be Beyonce. You won't be Tim Ferriss in your 4-hour work week. You won't be Pat Flynn. You won't be John Lee Dumas. You won't be Joe Rogan. You won't be any of them cats that make the Forbes list. There's only going to be one of them. One. And, you know, there's a business of business. There are people who they make money off of everybody else's dreams. They'll start a business on how to get famous, how to get rich, how to make money, how to work the 4-hour work week. And it's not real for you. But we buy into it because we want that. And they get rich off of your dream. It's snake oil in some ways. The business of business. As soon as you go into business, somebody's going to sell you how to get your business card or your name or your logo or your swag. And you don't even have any customers yet. Nobody even wants your stuff yet. You got 500 business cards and only 2 friends. Be careful about that one. Another factoid is there comes a point in your time when you're going to be grieving on the paths that you didn't take. There may be a day or days when you wake up and look around at your life and wonder how you got there. Wonder what happened to those dreams you had back in the day. Wonder how you ended up like you are. You see, as we get older, we make choices. Doors open and doors close for us. There may be a time when you see the doors that are no longer available to you and you start getting sad and frustrated about it. And it's perfectly normal and natural. Your life is a sum of your choices up to this point, and while it doesn't make you feel great, you have every right to grieve like the rest of us. Another point, none of us are experts in life. If you live long enough, you learn stuff. If you can remember it, if you can hold on to it, if you make better choices next time, you get a little wisdom in there. And the same thing goes for relationships. None of us are experts. We're all novices. And some people, depending on how you date, is what makes you better or not. If you've only had 1 or 2 girlfriends or boyfriends in your whole life, then how are you going to become an expert at it the next time you get one? Or you just had one long-term relationship, and then you look at the next one and you can't find anybody like the last one, and you're just worried. See, most of us know how to fall in love, how to be infatuated, how to daydream over new love. But when the fires of passion die down, most of us struggle with what comes next. How to actually live with that joker. Day after day, year after year, trying to love them, trying to resolve differences with all their quirks and triggers and weird noises and stuff. We all struggle. It ain't just you, baby. It ain't. But see, if you dated 200-300 people, and then you almost then you might be an expert. Call you a hoe, but that's something else. And you'd probably lose your soul because you'd forget who you were as a person. And by the time you got to about 200, you didn't care who you were with. You could make it work because you could be whatever the other person needed you to be if you wanted to be there. And my next point is about life. It's pretty much boring. Mostly. Between that highlight reel of Facebook and Instagram are the never posted snapshots of your real life. The laundry on the floor, the dishes in the sink, the fights in the kitchen, the bills and the unwritten thank you cards, just the painful chores of stuff. I think a lot of us are surprised by how much mundane life is. Not the stuff that's on television, not the stuff that you dreamed about, not the stuff that you wanted to happen. But don't beat yourself up, believing that everybody else is having better sex, a cleaner house, better manage their finances and pantries, and have plenty of time and money left over for travel and adventures. It ain't true. Most of our lives are filled with mundane stuff. Just don't make it onto social media because nobody would click on it if you did. And there's a twist for you. You know, you can love your folks and they can make you sick at the same time. Yeah, you can love your spouse, your partner, your kiddos, your friends, your family workers, your coworkers, your neighbors, and still resent them or have hard feelings toward them at the same time. Life is not either or, it's both and so are our emotions. I got relatives that I love and can't stand at the same time. Often the people we love the most will be the ones that trigger us. That's my thing. So if you're struggling with even allowing yourself to feel the resentment sometimes toward the people that you love, you're going to be hurting yourself on the inside. It's normal, I heard. It is. It may, of course, be a clue or a signal about something you need or want to shift or address in that relationship. It don't necessarily make you a bad person. A bad husband, a bad wife, a bad mother, a bad dad, a bad brother, a bad sister, a bad friend, a bad cousin. If you're experiencing a both and an and feeling, you know, adulting, if it's a real word, involves a lot of unlearning and relearning when it comes to stuff. Food, money, sex, and relationships. We don't come into this world pre-programmed like computers. We form a relationship to those around us and we learn what we're modeled, whether that's intention or not. And because of that, we come to develop certain kinds of patterns and behaviors around food, money, sex, and relationships from our early experiences. And for many of us, these patterns we learn may one day stop working so well, if they ever worked at all. So in your adult journey, you have to unlearn some stuff that you thought that worked for your parents or worked for your friends or you thought was working for you and get some better habits. Yeah. Being grounded is pretty good. See, if you feel frustrated or overwhelmed with the fact that you're still learning how to date or manage your money or understand sex, join the freaking club. Most of us in adulthood are on a constant journey to unlearn and relearn patterns around these and so other many subjects. We just ain't telling it. And here's the funky part. Everybody thinks that they're unique, that you're different, that they're the only one suffering. And we're all going through it at the same time. But not everybody's telling it. In church, they call it testimony. A real testimony is when you can actually show that you're human, that you went through something and that God rescued you from yourself. And you can give him glory for it. Nobody wants to tell that it took them years to get their money together. Nobody wants to tell that they finally got their head right with their spouse. Nobody wants to say that they sucked as a parent up until this point. But they did, it would help other people. Oh yeah, and I did say that God thing. People don't want to put that in there either. It's all right to say meditation or chants or anything, but don't say that God thing. I'm here to tell you that he works, that it works. Prayer works, that meditation works. Now, religion is where we screw it up. Everybody kind of puts a thing on it so they can worship how they want to worship. But if you had one guide and said, all right, I'm going to follow this one way, the best religion would be closest to that guide, not what we feel like, what sounds good for today. And when you have that pressure off of you and you're following another guide and it's working for you, then you know that the faith is right. And don't believe that all roads lead to Rome. All religions are not the same. All beliefs are not the same. All paths are not the same. That true path that I'm talking about of Christianity can take the place of drugs, sex, alcohol, and so many other things that we put in that place to fill that void of us trying to be whole. Times are hard, but it's harder when you have no hope. You know, every career, even your dream career, comes with drawbacks. No matter how wonderful your job, no matter how carefully you plotted or crafted it, every career comes with drawbacks. It can be mundane in the administration of it all, or the commute that you have to make to get to your dream job. It can be the time away from your family, the vulnerability of putting yourself out there and risking rejection. Every job and every career on the planet comes with some trade-offs, and that's okay. You will have to find and set the trade-offs that you're willing to tolerate when crafting and pursuing the job and the career that you want. Adulting itself, or adulthood, involves layers of loss. Whether this is loss of your dreams and grief over the roads you didn't take, loss of partners, parents, friends, money, direction, loss of some abilities in our bodies, loss becomes a more frequent companion for many of us in adulthood. It can wear you out. It can hurt your heart. It can force you to reinvent and pick up the pieces of your life. Loss is inevitable and it can feel so damn hard. But if you're dealing with this, know this: you are not alone. And because I understand this, I want you to know your name. I'm not going to give you a nickname because I know you're going to be around a while. And I want to learn you. I want to help you. I want to share my mess so that you don't make the same mistakes and then I can learn from you. You know, it's harder to make friends as an adult. It is. We got trust issues. A lot of folks struggle with that. And it's normal, too. So tell me your name. Let me know what you think of this episode. Let me know what you think of my old man hard times advice. It means a lot to me. You can make it. Well, that's it for this week. If you like what you heard, please tell somebody. If you want to keep the show going, become a subscriber at glow.fm/Kenn Blanchard.